making no beats again.
Trenches. Come get some work on your free time. Nico Trenches, we train O-line and D-line. Getting sacks on quarterbacks, you know we live. When you kick at 45, keep your nose on his inside. You better punch something, keep your feet moving, dog. My 3 tech and 1 tech, they some real hoes. My DN 6'5", he ain't got no flaws. Good grades, good feet, man, he got it all. I said,
good evening, everybody. We're back. Bushleague Sports, episode 55. I'm your host, TKB, here as always to banter aimlessly, give our Bushleague takes, and rip a few packs. I'll be joined by my beautiful co-host, No Sleep. We'll be deep diving into MLB Opening Weekend, the last weekend of fantasy playoffs. I may or may not have probably lost out of all my leagues, so that sucks. So I'll probably cry, whine, complain a little bit, and then figure out exactly how to win it next year, because we can't just be losing in the semifinals. But we're going to have a good old box break going on too. I'll throw the QR code up here for a minute. We're live on Whatnot at the same time right now. We got 30 teams. MLB box break. We'll be ripping 6 blasters, a mega box, about 60 packs. So you can get in on that for $20. Head over to Whatnot, dive in on that. It's going to be a fun night. MLB opening weekend, NHL, fantasy playoff finals. We're going to deep dive into it all. We'll be back with you after a little intro. We'll see you in a minute. Stay Bushleague, you beauties.
Say, man, you're in a privileged position right now. You're in a place to be. Matter of fact, the place that you, with the one and only S&OOP. So what you gonna do now? Turn that shit up.
When are you making no beats again?
Trenches. Come get some work on your free time. Nico Trenches, we train O-line and D-line. Getting sacks on quarterbacks, you know we live. When you kick at 45, keep your nose on his inside. You better punch something, keep your feet moving, dog. My 3 tech and 1 tech, they some real hoes. My DN 6'5", he ain't got no flaws.
That's
good
a Bushleague
grades, good
question.
feet, man, he got it all.
I understand.
Crazy on him.
California, so it'd be cool for family to come back together.
I always fuck all my American buddies. Like, hey, you guys never get out.
To the pro.
My hometown. So what do you
Find
think?
your way back home. You know, you supposed to be back at
You gotta spin. That's you get around the edge and you gotta bend. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at.
When are you making no beats
I'm
again?
in the trenches where the lineman at. Where the lineman at. Where the lineman at. D tackle do your dance.
Alrighty, baby. We are back. How you doing this evening, brother? What's going on?
What's up, dude? Man, I'm doing good. It's been a great week, a busy one, man. My Might Spring League hockey team, we're kind of down in the dumps right now. 0-3 to start the season, but we're having fun, man. We got some new kids on the team. They did a pretty good leveling. These kids, man, when they get those goalie pads on, it's the cutest thing ever, man. Some of them can't stand up, especially if there's the first time in net. So it's been wild, man. It's been a good week. Had 3 hockey games, 1 baseball. Actually, had 2 baseball games this week, and a buttload of soccer practices. That's the way it goes, man. Sports dad for life right now. Loving it.
Nice. No, that's busy. It's, sucks that the Mites are down 3 games to start the season. We'll talk about a couple teams in the MLB that are maybe up 3 games. There's a few that are down as well, too. But I didn't have a busy week on the dad front sports-wise. My little girl wrapped up skating last week. So on the dad sports front, it's actually at a pause right now. All she's got going on is art class on Wednesdays. So it'll be, I think, gymnastics or soccer. We'll see what she wants to get into this spring here. But it's a little lighter now. We're usually pretty busy in winter up here as Canadians. Lots of winter activities to do out on the snowmobile or just going over to like a little hill and ride on the toboggan or snowboarding. So that's like all come to an end. I don't know what the weather's like down in Texas for you, but up here we're tail end of winter, but we've had like 3 days where it's back. It's been like -8, -10 for about 3 days, and then it'll go back to pluses. I think by tomorrow we're back into like +8, which is, whatever that is for you guys, 70 some or something. But we're going from like basically probably 10 to 75 tomorrow within the span of 12 hours.
Wow, man. Wow. No, dude, good on your daughter getting out there skating. I know my son started when he was 4. I think your daughter's 3 or 4. as well, right? So she's getting out there having a good time. Her feet are probably this big, you know what I mean? Can barely get a blade under it. Luckily they have those sharpeners now to sharpen skates where you can kind of just set it in there and they sharpen. I worked at a pro shop as a teenager, and we had to sharpen all the rink skates, and then we had to sharpen the skates that came in. And I remember when I had to sharpen the rink skates, the tiny like size 1 skates, like it was impossible to get into the clamp to cut them. It was it wasn't something that was
better off doing
very easily.
a hand sharpen.
Exactly. If anybody was judging how I sharped, if they came to said, hey, you can keep your job based on how well you sharpen these size 1 skates, I would have been out of a job, week 1, because those were trash. I did a trash job. I apologize to all the kids that couldn't skate because of my sharpening skills.
That's too funny. Yeah, no, I think the amount of skating or laps my little girl put on, I don't even know if I need to sharpen them by the end of the season here, but I'm sure I'll take them, get them done. Oh, Kenny Bashir and the boys down at Supremo tell me, and I'm sure
those little kids are so light too. They shouldn't ding up too bad. It's when they start walking around, like right before they get on the rink, my son's like kicking the side of the boards from the outside where kind of the ice comes out a little bit, and I'm like, dude, just chill, brother, chill.
Nice, love it. Well, as always, if you guys are here, the Bushleague Sports Show on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram. Thanks for popping in. It's episode 55. We're going to give you all our Bushleague takes on MLB, NHL. If you're listening back, thank you for listening back. You can catch the whole show here or on Spotify. And then over on Whatnot, we're doing a live break. So if you guys are tuning in on Whatnot, we're going to be live with the Bushleague Sports Show for the next probably 45 minutes or so. We're going to deep dive into NHL here a little bit first on a couple subjects, go over MLB Opening Weekend, and then get into this rip. So we got 24 spots, I think, left out of 30. Random team. If you buy 3 teams, you can pick any team you want out of the teams that are available, which is going to be all of them. We'll get that going after the show. But I'm going to change the giveaway card here. We'll send another giveaway live. I'm going to throw the QR code, Trav, if you want to tell them about that, give it a plug. And I'm going to swap out a card here, maybe send another giveaway live over on the Whatnot. Actually, here, let's head up to view. People can see the cards. We'll be ripping here in a little bit. There's a Whatnot below us. It's everywhere.
Yeah, love it, man. So up here in the corner by my head, go ahead and scan that QR code. Jump in the Whatnot. As TK said, we're doing a big MLB card break pack rip tonight. Go ahead go to the show notes section of the Whatnot. You'll see it. It'll be like a little sticky in the upper left-hand corner. Click that. Grab one of the discount codes and go get yourself a spot in the rip tonight. I know that TK, you've had some great rips lately. You've pulled some pretty dope cards, so it's gonna be a fun one. So we'll run the show for about an hour and then dive into the break tonight. I believe there's 24 spots left right now at 20 a pop. However, again, if you're new to Whatnot, hit that discount code in the show notes, man. You won't regret it, man. I've been doing card rips with TK here for I think we're maybe 4 or 5 weeks in, and I've been all in on Whatnot lately. It's been an absolute blast, some dope cards and some dope personalities.
Nice to love. Well, thanks for carrying the show there for 2 minutes while I absolutely trailed off. But we're sending another Gibby live, so hit that QR up by Trav. We're going to send Gibby number 2 live. Should be live for 5 minutes. We got a DeGrom Mets card going over on Whatnot. Spots are live. Grab 1, 2, 5, 10, whatever the hell you want. We'll be ripping here in a little bit. But I think we, want to get into a little NHL, maybe a couple topics that were, little touchy subjects. And then the standings as we close in on the end of fantasy playoffs. Obviously, the actual NHL playoffs aren't far behind. So our playoffs are almost set here with that coming in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I know some of the topics we're going to get into were from last week, the week prior, where we didn't really get to talk about them, where I do want to dive into them a little bit deeper. And then even looking at this week in the NHL has been, amazing, right? You got the firing or the stepping down of John Tortorella, which is absolutely wild. Sidney Crosby breaking Wayne Gretzky's record, his points per game streak. So right now Crosby hit his 20th year as a point per game player, which is, obviously beating Gretzky. He's now the top dog there. So really great to see, really cool. And then Ovi scored again today. So Ovi is now 4 goals from tying Gretzky's record, 5 from breaking it. I hope we see it this year. Tyrone, what's your take? Do you want to see Ovi break it this year, or do you want to wait till next year?
Well, I told one of the boys in fantasy, because he was annoying me. I'm trying to win. He's laughing that I'm losing. I said, I hope Ovi misses it by 1 goal. That was my stance on it. I hope he misses it by 1 goal, just so all the insufferable Capitals fans have to live to see it happen next year. That's the only thing. But otherwise, he's probably going to get it. I mean, we hope he gets it because he deserves it. He's a well-deserved player. As a Canadian, obviously, sad to see the record go away from a Canadian, but it don't matter. Ovi's played a long career. I think if Gretzky played in today's game and played that extra amount of time in a somewhat less physical game, he would have continued and had even more goals than he does then, right? Because there's the two arguments of like, okay, it was easier to score back then, but it was also like crazy physical. Bro was getting slashed in the arm, and that was just like completely fine. You get now a player in Ovechkin size playing in an era that's a little softer, who has that ability to score. I think it evens out, right?
You can see that argument in a lot of different sports, even, talking baseball and looking at the famous baseball players of old, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, all these guys. Babe Ruth, would they, be able to do what they did back then in today's game? The honest answer is probably not, but they were the top dogs of then, and all of the technology they have in sports now. Maybe Waino could do what Ovi does. Maybe not. We'll never know, in my opinion. And Wayne's always going to be the GOAT, no matter Sidney Crosby passing his goals point per game record, no matter Ovi passing his goals record. Gretzky's a GOAT forever. Nothing's ever going to change that.
Nice, love to see it, and love to see the GOATs. Cause and Nathan from our fantasy hockey league tuning in, saying hi. Love to see it, boys. Hop into Whatnot, little QR code, grab a spot if you want, but appreciate the support. Same to Brent for popping in over on YouTube. You can comment live, give your Bush League takes over there, and hop into QR or Whatnot to grab a spot. But let's get into the first little recap. Nothing too wild, but just something to discuss. I mean, it's a young career. He's got his whole future ahead of him. You want to see the kid, obviously number 1 pick, and should have been the franchise player for Chicago. So far, looking a little, murky, but we got this clip.
Middle of things there. Chicago number 98 and number 91 each have 10-minute misconducts. I bet this might be the only time in his entire NHL career, no matter how long it lasts, that Connor Bedard will have consecutive games with 10-minute misconducts.
Well, and obviously, thanks for the clip there, but you don't want to see that. That's your star player, 10-minute misconducts, back-to-back games. The last thing you want to see. The kid is obviously frustrated, and I think it's, probably a little bit of pressure from the media in not necessarily getting up to those expectations. That pressure obviously makes it significantly harder to live up to it. But like he said in the clip, hopefully it's he said it will be the only time. Who's to say if that'll be the only time there's back-to-back 10s? You never know. Guy could get heat in the playoffs. But again, you would hope it's not Bedard taking those 10s of all the players. But he hasn't lived up to expectations. Like I know I was saying, I'd rather be chasing the Macklin Celebrini rookies of this year than the Bedards almost. And I don't know how you feel about it.
I do have several Bedard rookies, and I don't have any Celebrinis. So if you do have a Celebrini Young Guns that you're willing to deal, I have some Bedard rookie cards to trade for a Celebrini Young Guns. But it's an interesting take, and you can look at it one of two ways. The one way that you looked at it, kind of glass half full, and I'm going to say glass half full, glass half empty, whatever it is. I don't know which one's which, but maybe he is, it's awesome to see that he cares. It's awesome to see that he's engaged and that he's mad, because this guy's all he's ever done is win. All he's ever done is win. And now he's on a team where he is not winning. And they're sellers at the deadline. They're up for a first round, or they're going to be up for the lottery for the first overall pick with those San Jose Sharks. So, I think you can look at it one of two ways. We're not going to know this year. Next year is going to be a defining year in Connor Bedard's career, and I'm really excited to follow along. One thing you mentioned that something I didn't really consider till you said it, the media and the market. So looking at Chicago as an original six market, the pressure that he must feel there versus the California, the San Jose market, that's a little bit lighter, a little bit looser, less dialed in on the, the hockey scene. And again, this isn't trashing on San Jose. Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith and Tyler Toffoli are out there living their best lives right now at the bottom of the table, at the bottom of the standings. But there's definitely different vibes going around in both areas. And I would assume that the media does play a significant role in that.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. And I guess one thing I never wasn't planned question, but I wonder, like, how long does it take? Like you say, original six team, I think that's part of it. But I think it's also these teams that have had these crazy runs, whether it be the Chicago Blackhawks, Tane and Caves that, went on these crazy runs for quite a few years, or whether it's, hold on, I got something that's acting up on me, or whether it's, the Chiefs, Kansas City, or let's look at the LA Kings. They went on their run for a couple of years. But I think these teams that had that 2-3 year, almost like dynasty-like run too, get this extra media that comes onto them and then builds and then seems to stay there. And I guess the question I was going to say is, like, how long does it take for that to dissipate again? Like, is that like a decade, 2 decades? Because we're living past the decade of like the Kings doing it. And I feel like we're now on the tail end of like, maybe people are forgetting it, but we're not really going to forget it till all those guys retire. Brown, Kopitar, Quick, etc. So it's like, it takes a while for, I think, that pressure to fade for a franchise.
Yeah. And, I'm an outsider here. I'm not a fan of Chicago, not from Chicago, not a fan of LA.
Oh, neither am I.
LA. Yeah. Well,
we can hope they lose.
No, of course. Yeah. I don't feel that pressure was there for LA like it is for Chicago. And maybe you're right. Yeah. Maybe it's due to just being so dominant for a decade plus, 3 cups in there and that kind of run that they had as a collective. So that could definitely play a role. I was looking at social media numbers today, and it was Instagram specifically. And can you guess the team with the highest Instagram followers in all of the NHL?
My guess would want to instantly be like the Leafs. I don't know if that would be correct or not, but so that would be it. Leafs, Detroit, Chicago, Rangers, like top 4 for me, probably.
So I would have guessed Leafs as well. And I can't remember the rest of them. And Instagram's not huge on sport. I think Twitter has more of a sports kind of news, sports following. Maybe Instagram does too. Maybe I'm just not tapped in with that. But the Pittsburgh Penguins have 2.8 million Instagram followers. The next team was like 1.8 million. So I went over and I looked at Twitter this morning, and Toronto was the one that I found had the most at 2.1 followers, 2.1 million followers on X, and Pittsburgh was like 1.8. But I didn't look at Chicago. I imagine Chicago is in that bracket of those teams.
Wait. So I thought you were gonna like give me breaking news, like, oh, it's Chicago, they're the most followed team. There's no way that you just like used all that to get a shameless Pittsburgh plug in there.
Yeah, for sure. Really? Anytime I can say Sidney Crosby's name, I will say it on this show. Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, those guys, Tom Barrasso. We'll get deep on the early 90s Penguins whenever you want.
But if Connor Bedard wants to be in the same names as, in the same class as Jaromir Jagr, Mario Lemieux, then he's going to have to quit getting 10-minute misconducts. And speaking of 10-minute misconducts, what do we think about this one? Was it a 10-minute was it a misconduct? Is that what it should have been?
Goal. Here's Redby.
I mean, what was that, right? Like, what was it? I mean, is that nothing happened? That's the most Bushleague thing I've seen ever. How do you give him a penalty at all for that? I mean, we got to replay.
Trying to save the goal. Here's Redby.
He's not even looking at the dude. He just kind of wing a little bit.
It's the curse of being the Rempire State Building, man. He is an absolute giant. In the NHL's defense, Rempe hands out elbows like nobody's business. This dude just can't keep his arms down, man. He's flying in there all over, like, and he's so much bigger than everybody that, like, when his chicken wings up to his armpit, he's taking out people in the dome. So, that's a terrible call. It was a minor.
For sure.
However,
and I just want everybody to look at it. I don't even think it's a minor. Like, I just want everybody to look at it.
Minor saved the goal. Here's Reppy.
I don't think he did anything at all. Like, I literally think you see a tiny little bit of emotion, right? But to me, that was purely like, this dude's about to hit me. I'm just like sturdying up, because he didn't chicken wing or nothing.
No,
that was pure like fake. Like, that should have straight up been like 5 minutes for faking it. I don't know why I can't think of the word right now. Allegedly, it's because marijuana is legal in Canada. But it's what is it when you fake it? Are we both lost? Do we not know
embellishment?
The word? Yeah, embellishment. That's what it should have been. Yeah, diving. Ray, who's tuned in on Whatnot. We got the boys on Whatnot giving us better information than we give ourselves. But no, it's beautiful to see him get 5 minutes for nothing.
I've seen more calls this year that have been silly and completely incorrect. I've seen more high sticks called where guys are high sticking themselves and they're getting the call. I've seen several trips where it's three people into a corner, into a scrum, and coming out of the scrum, one of the players gets tripped. It ends up being their own guy tripping them, but the opposite team player gets called to the box. This year has been pretty wild, that's for sure. But the Rempire State Building, man, he's here. He's not going anywhere. I know he spent some time down and up this season. He's probably going to do that throughout his career, but he's a banger, and like to see him in the NHL, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And I don't think that's a call at all. That should be
no, not at all.
That we can do deep diving it again as another topic down the road of like what replay should be able to help with and whatnot. But funny to see our pal Nathan in there too with the Sid the Kid plug, because you guys I know made a trade in our fantasy hockey league. I think you ended up getting Sid the Kid this year, so he's giving you the shout there. You'll love to see it. Thanks for tuning in, boys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a good trade. I know that he got who he wanted. So, and Sid's got a couple years left. I'll ride those years out. Most 5-on-5. I don't know if he's the most 5-on-5 points this year or most 5-on-5 goals, something like that. But he's leading the league in 5-on-5 and in one of those categories. So Sidney Crosby, 37 years old right now, still doing the damn thing.
Love to see it. And before we deep dive into the wild card spots here in NHL, we're live over on Whatnot. We're going to be ripping a whole bunch of boxes tonight. 6 blasters, a mega box. We got 24 spots left in that break. There's been a few sold to some of the boys, but hop in over on Whatnot. There's a QR code below, Trav. You can dive in there. And also I got my buddy Tyler popping in. Thanks for popping by the show. We appreciate it. But nothing worse than the offside goalie interference video reviews this season. I mean, some of them are definitely bad. There's the odd one that probably should happen, but where were they though back in the 90s for that Medano goal?
No.
Yeah. You hate hearing that.
We're not talking about that here. We're going to celebrate the cup in Dallas just the same. I agree with him though. Some of the goalie interferences this year, goalie interference calls to take away goals have been pretty egregious. So I do think the NHL is going to need to really look at how the officials are rating that at the end of the season prior to next season, because it's got to change for sure.
And I think we'll do a whole show on it. We've really touched before on, I know, like my thoughts on implementing something in football with the goal line chain, which they are actually bringing in this year. I think Goodell's probably been watching the Bushleague Sports Show because we've been screaming forever, just put in the electronic chip and let us know what's going on. Like I've been saying forever in the MLB too, we don't need an umpire to call balls and strikes. I literally can just see it on the television before he even makes a call. I understand it. And when it comes to hockey, we had the chip back in the day for like the tracer and all the fun stuff. Okay, like we ran it in the 90s, bro. So now bring the little chip back in the puck and just let us know when it's offside or not. Literally a light could just come on the side of the rink if the puck's like gone by before a skate blade of the opposing team or etc. It should be like pretty easy stuff to dial in.
I think goals as well. When the puck crosses the goal line, there was one yesterday or a couple days ago in a game where the puck looked almost clearly across the goal line. However, it's a little fuzzy in some of those views. Puck was on its side, kind of canted off to the side, and I mean, it looked like a clear goal to me, but it got called no goal. So again, that's another one where it's clear as day. it's clear as day if you have the technology in place to handle it.
For sure. Well, I want to, we got sidetracked there, but thanks for the comment. It's a great topic. But the wild card side, we'll take a quick peek here at the Eastern Conference in the NHL. Toronto locked in, Tampa, Florida. So it's all the East. The Florida market is crazy, right? They're locking in at the top nowadays. They've been on top for a while. It's cool to see.
Tampa's scary right now. Tampa is scary right now. And you look at that division, you almost have to win that division, right? So the way the playoffs are set up, whoever wins that division, is likely going to play the first wild card, and the other two teams are going to have to battle it out in the first round. So are we going to see Tampa and Florida in the first round again? Are we going to see Toronto, Florida? Who knows? That's so tight. All 73 games played. So everybody's got 8 games left, or what is it? 9 games left.
It's around 8 to 9. It says 73 to 75 games played so far.
Yeah. So that division's up for grabs, and you want that number 1 spot for sure.
Oh yeah, we see Cos Fab sneaking in. You know what, Cos? I don't want to hear you about your woo sends, woo nothing. You took me out in playoffs today, so you know what, pal? It's your lucky day. Okay, cool. So my top guys were injured. Leon Draisaitl comes back, gets as much points as your whole team does in one night, basically. But I only had him for one night. Hurdle, I make a trade with you, Trav, for Hurdle. He's out when I need him most. All I needed was like 2-3 games out of these pricks, and I take Cos Fabs out. So watch out, Ottawa. Yeah. I hope Ottawa loses, because you have got enough glory for your lifetime out of these fluky wins when my guys are injured in the semifinals. But nonetheless, congrats to you, Coco. I hope you win. If I don't, which I won't, so go on, take out Beanhead in the championship. We give you everything from the West. We give you equalization payments. We give you fantasy sports championships. Send a check in the mail someday, please and thank you.
I love that take, but while you're going, man, Ottawa's scary. Ottawa is scary right now. So if you are Toronto, and you lock up that number one seed in the Atlantic, and you got Ottawa in the first series. Same for Florida. I think Tampa is looking good. I think Tampa could take down Ottawa. Sorry, bud. But Florida or Toronto. I like Ottawa's chances.
For sure. And then in the wild card, it's Chase. Obviously, Ottawa probably has it locked up with a 7-point lead. At this point, they would have to really fall off a cliff to not get it. So they should be in with a playoff spot. And honestly, the acquisition of Dylan Cousins late and a few trades they made was good for the squad. So you'll love to see it. But then Montreal, 77 points, obviously sitting on the brink with a bunch of other teams. My Red Wings were in there at one point. They've faded out a bit. They luckily, 73 games are still in the running, but it's going to be a big run between all these teams here. Pittsburgh's where it kind of falls off, but Islanders, Detroit, Columbus, New York, Montreal, all kind of fighting for that last spot over in the Eastern Conference.
How about Washington just doing the damn thing right now? 103 points. I think they're in the lead for the President's Trophy right now, just winning games. I don't know if they ended up winning. Oh no, they're not. Winnipeg at 106. Okay. All right, Winnipeg.
Well, it's crazy to think too, like you get an NFL player, he tears his little ligament and he's out for like 9 months. Ovechkin just snaps his leg in half and is playing hockey in like 12 days.
I love how worse the injury gets the more times we talk about it. I guarantee you next week when we're talking about it, the bones were going separate ways, protruding from the skin, and he was skating 3 days later. It was absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, no, they did some Russian super experiment on him. They were like, we must get him back and get this right.
He's pure robotic now. That's why he's scoring so many goals. He's a machine.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Winnipeg locking in, and again, Coco, Connor Hellebuck, Thatcher Demko matchup today in what is basically a determining matchup for me in Coco's fantasy playoff game, because we're tied in goalie wins, we're tied in shutouts. He's got the save percentage and the I think it's win percentage or whatever the other one is. I don't want to get locked up on it for 5 minutes. But it comes down to that game basically, and Thatcher lets in 3, Hellebuck lets in 1. And that basically ended the fantasy playoffs for us today, because if the game goes the other way, I swing 2 stats in my direction, and it's looking like a completely different game. I'm up like 8-7 going into tonight, but just the way she went. But it was just kind of luck of the draw. I think, like I say, I might have been a little further ahead, but it's been fun to go through. And I know the reason it's gotten so competitive is these boys, see them all. They're chatting now. They're giving comments. Like, they've been here all year, Trav. They've been stealing our ideas. They're pretending they don't watch. And then I'm watching them hit the waiver wire week after week with the exact guys that we're throwing up in the Bush League Fantasy 5, which we will get to in a few here. But, I mean, the boys, they've just been watching the whole time secretly. I know it.
Love it. Love it. I know we're over to the Western Conference now and talking about win a game at Winnipeg. It sucks.
Win a game. Winnipeg.
Win a game. I don't know. Winnipeg, talking market and how much love Winnipeg gets. Winnipeg gets like, oh, man, Winnipeg's unstoppable. They got a great lineup. They got Connor Hellebuck. Oh, let me talk about the Colorado Avalanche. Oh, let me talk about the LA Kings. Let me talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. Winnipeg gets 5 minutes of airtime in any high-end hockey podcast or show. They get no love at all, but they're doing the damn thing. Now they just got to win a playoff series or two, and maybe they'll get more love. But Winnipeg.
No love. We'll scroll them right out of the screen. Your Dallas Stars right behind them at 100, Colorado 93, and then Vegas, LA, Edmonton backing up to Pacific. Obviously, resting Connor and Leon Draisaitl just came back a big game yesterday, so hopefully they're healthy.
Yeah, he's the only player at 50 goals right now, right?
Yep, and it's fourth. I want to say it's his fourth straight year, and there's only 2 active players in the NHL with 4 50-goal seasons. You know who that is?
Ovi and Austin Matthews.
Draisaitl.
Oh, I thought you meant 2 other than him.
No, it just
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think Ovi's like 10 or 11 times, and Draisaitl's 4. So that's pretty sweet to see. But then over here, we got Minnesota St. Louis at 87, well ahead of our next spots, Vancouver, Calgary, and then Utah.
Scroll over and take a peek at St. Louis. I think they're on like a 7 or 8 game heater right now. Where is it? Plus 17? Holy cow.
9 and 10, 9 and 1 in the last. Oh, yeah, 9 straight wins.
Yeah, so and then you kind of look at that. So right now you are Winnipeg, and you got to play St. Louis in round one, coming in as the second wild card, and they're snapped off on a 5. Snapped off. Can I say that on the air? Snapped off. They snapped off a 9-game win streak right here, coming up to the end of the season. Whew.
Well, and you look at that though, like St. Louis, some of the guys they acquired, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Holloway, Broberg, coming out of Edmonton last year, guys that I think Edmonton should have locked up, right? I mean, they didn't get any younger keeping Skinner or any faster. I know they said that on the Chicklets pod too, but it's true. They didn't get any faster. They gave up a couple guys that were probably cheaper, younger. And if we keep talking about hockey forever, we're never going to get to MLB, so we might have to kind of roll on. But that's where we're at.
My B-Dog. I love it. I love the game.
I love it. Well, let's play. We got one more clip here we're going to run. Obviously, shouts to a legend, career coming close to an end here very soon. But we're going to run this clip. We'll chat a little bit, and then move on with the show here.
Yeah, let's go.
And it looks like, it is, as best you can tell, Alex Ovechkin gathering all of his teammates, telling them, don't go back to the locker room. That is legend recognizing legend. Look at that, Ray. Alex Ovechkin got the guys out of the tunnel, brought them back on the ice and said, no, we have to go shake hands with Marc-Andre Fleury.
As I said, I don't recall seeing this other than Wayne Gretzky. There's just nobody that quite has connected with people around the league like the way Marc-Andre Fleury has. He's a remarkable person. Every stop he's been to, he has been a most favored son, and it's because of the way, A, he plays, but the way that he treats people. It's a great thing to see.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. Fleury's been just a stand-up guy since the moment he's been in the league. Obviously cherished big time in Pittsburgh, your hometown there, when he had a huge run with Crosby and all the boys. And Ovi and him have been rivals for, like I said, 2 decades nearly, right? And Ovi will be coming back for another year. No, whether he gets the record or not, he'll be back. But it's cool to see the respect given between, those 2 legends of the game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, with Fleury's retirement this year, it's kind of the end of an era, obviously. Just this guy, his prankster, his jokes, his smile, dude, just he lights up the league for sure. Is terribly bad as, I don't know if bad is the word, as weird as it sounds, he lights up the league, and it's going to be sad to see him go, but just hats off to Ovi for getting his team back on the ice to go through that handshake. And, Fleury had a great career, and, sad to see it end.
Yeah, for sure. But, all great things come to an end. He's got a few cups. At least he doesn't have to go to the end of the career without one of them. It's always, a sad day for someone like, say, Joe Thornton or other players that might come to mind who you just feel like deserved one and never got it. But awesome to see the teams pay those respects. And I think they were saying, we kind of planned it before that he wanted to pay him some tributes. But it's cool to see for sure. And hockey, I think hockey is just one of the most respectful games. You won't see stuff like this in a lot of sports necessarily like you do in hockey. And though you might see it more and more now in like football and baseball and stuff, they learned it from hockey. Hockey's always been a gentleman's game. Punch each other in the face, shake hands after it's over, it's done, move on.
Agree. Fleury in Montreal, I know we got some Montreal fans in the house tonight. Fleury's last game in Montreal was like a tearjerker. I think he had the shutout against the Habs, and just standing ovation off the ice, same thing, handshake. I hopefully Fleury stays, I say hopefully out of, my greediness. I hope he stays around the game. I hope he's a pundit. I hope he's somewhere in an organization of the Habs or something like that. I just like to see more of Fleury around the game. I know I'm off screen right now. Tyrone, can you hear me?
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I could hear you. I don't know where you disappeared to. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. I was just saying, I hope Fleury stays around the game when it's all said and done.
Nice. Well, let's just quickly take a peek here. I just wanted to I think I just had the stage set improperly was all. Here, I got to remove you for a sec. Go like this. And I think we're back in business. There we go. We are rolling. We're Bushleague Sports. We don't got nobody running the back end except for our pal Ray, who keeping her dialed over on whatnot. But unless he gets some sales over there, we might not be able to give him his commission. But looking at this week, obviously going into the last week of fantasy playoffs, Coco, Bean, you guys are head to head. Or anybody else that's watching, thank you guys again if you're in Facebook, YouTube, X, or Instagram. Which Instagram will be cutting off in probably 20 minutes or so. It shuts off in an hour. But it's the last week, fantasy playoffs. If this isn't your last week of fantasy playoffs, I don't know what your league manager's been doing. But as always, we're looking for the teams playing the most games. We got Boston, Calgary. If you can read, it's been scrolling across the bottom the whole time telling you. Colorado, Columbus, Dallas, Florida, Minnesota, Montreal, Nashville, Ottawa, and Vegas Caps are our teams playing 4 games in the final week of playoffs. And the team that stands out in the mix is actually Colorado. Ross Colton is a name we might touch on here in the future, as well as maybe a player or two from Calgary. But those teams, as always, with 4 games in the 6 days, leaving your Sunday open, are usually your best Monday pickups. If you're going to burn a pick or two early in the week, that's the best thing to do is grab one of them. But you also, like we always say, want to check your own lineups, right? There might be a busy day like the Tuesdays or the Saturdays where you already have a full roster. Maybe it doesn't make sense to pick up one of those guys that's playing the 3 or 4 and 6 days because you already have a full lineup on one of those days. Then you might go to look at a team like Nashville that's got an empty Saturday or something like that. But always look to your own roster. It might not always make the most sense to get the 4 games in 6 days if you're going to not be able to utilize all of them, right? But those are the teams we're looking at this week.
Yeah, love it, man. Yeah, it's shout out to Daily Faceoff, badass tool for fantasy sports. You get to see, where players are in their lineup, who are their line mates, are they on the PK or are they on the power play? So when going to make your streaming decisions, what players you're going to pick up, what players you're going to drop, Daily Faceoff has all of the details that you need to know to make the most informed decision. But hey, did you want to get into the Fantasy 5 today? Because I really like the player that we have up first.
Nice. And should we do them backwards and make that one last? I think we probably should, maybe.
All right.
We'll do it first. Yeah, we can do it first. But either way, the one thing I want to touch on before we roll in that is the games that are teams with 2 games. That's something that, people ask, what do we do in those situations? And for me, depending who you have, but if you're a Jersey player, I honestly almost don't care who it is on Jersey, almost even if it's Nico Heischer. And call me crazy, depending how many moves your league has. But I'm playing that Monday game and dumping New Jersey players. And so that might be a place where, depending if you have a Jersey player, it might make sense to wait a day, play that player, dump him, and grab a guy with 4 games that start on Tuesday, right? That's another way to maximize. But Jersey guys, I'm dumping them after Monday. They're gone. Rangers, unless it's such a tough one. So with the Rangers, Philly, I'm doing the exact same thing, 1 game dump. Rangers a little different. Toronto a little different. With those 2 teams, being that you're probably going to have some high-end players, it's a real tough decision for me, right? And you just got to see what's going to be best for you, but it's a hard call. Like if you sit there with Tavares, or like me, Nylander did almost nothing for me this week, would have been helpful on a week I'm missing a bunch of players for him to do something, but just a tough call because you might be better off dropping one of them and using those players to get the 5-man games out of the week, right? And I might sound crazy, but it might make sense for even like Tavares or Nylander or something, just because of the fact that those games aren't coming until the Wednesday, right? And then it's a 2-game and it's just a really horrible final schedule, which is something that I, in some leagues, ended up with a bunch of Toronto players late I didn't want, but I literally actually on draft day look at this, and it's a factor to me in who I might pick, because I want to know that my guys have games when I get to the playoffs, because what's the point of getting there if they don't? The only thing for me is they've all been injured every time I get there. But
I'm sorry your players get injured and you lost the fantasy semifinals.
I mean, I lost by like a hair, right? So like,
does it even count as a loss then?
Yeah, I mean, it does.
Coco, does it count as a loss? Let us know.
Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, in the chat, let us know. Maybe it doesn't count as a loss, but I mean, Coco won fair and square. He made better pickups, but it was so close that it's like clearly obvious that if my guys were there, I would have won. But what do? You win some, you lose some.
That's the way it goes. It's the nature of sport. I love to see it, man.
My name's on the trophy 4 to 7 years. It's hard to cry too much.
Oh, that's rad. All right, dude.
Well, so let's get into the Fantasy 5, my friend. Let's check her out.
1, 2, 3, and take us ball.
Bushleague Fantasy 5 helping you win some
I don't
more.
care. They got balls. And when you have balls on the biggest stage, you win championship football games.
That's another fantasy championship in the bag.
Let's go.
Fuck, she ain't in the bag this year. I wish it was, but you got to love it. But Fantasy 5 coming at you. It's the last week of finals. So you want to start at the top? Give it to him then, baby.
Yeah.
In 6 days. He's a beauty.
Love it. So, yeah, as we were talking a little Calgary Flames, we got your boy Blake Coleman, local to where I'm at, Plano, Texas. Why we like him? Yeah, 4 games this week. And, you got Nazem Kadri. You got a strong team in Calgary right now who is fighting for a playoff spot. They're not just playing games to go home at the end of the season, regular season to go golfing. They're fighting for a playoff spot. Blake Coleman is one that scores big time goals in big games. So as we move towards the end of this season, I really like this pickup of Blake Coleman this week. 100%.
Absolutely.
Great pickup.
And if Bino's still watching, a little bit of fantasy lore, probably like 3, 4, maybe even 5, 6 years ago, it was like playoff semifinals in the fantasy hockey league for us. And it was like down to the wire. I was chasing a couple. There was like 1 or 2 stats that I could maybe pass him in to get the win. Otherwise I was screwed. But it was down to 1 stat, as you know how our league scoring kind of goes. It was like probably 7-7 or something like that. And I needed 7 hits to tie him. I picked up Blake Coleman, and he went on just a freight train run of a lifetime. 8 hits. I ended up beating Bean. He was like rightfully probably in tears. It was the most insane thing ever. I just pick up this random dude who I hope is going to get a bunch of hits and get me within range. And he just train right. Like my buddy Kyle was texting me. He's like, oh my God, this guy has 5 hits. And then I'd get a text, ding 6, ding 7, and 8, and I win the match. It was the most insane thing ever. So a little bit of shouts to Blake Coleman. He will forever live on in our hearts as a fantasy legend.
Dude, my buddy, one of my neighbors here has a picture drinking out of the Stanley Cup. Blake Coleman did when he won in Tampa. He might have won 2 years in Tampa, both the cups with them, but he brought it back here. So my buddy's got a picture drinking out of the cup with Blake Coleman. It's pretty funny.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Next player on the list, another guy, 4 games in 5 days. So that's why they're at the top of the list. We should have done it backwards, made you listen and get the best ones last, but Bushleague Sports, we just wing it, whatever. But Ross Colton, probably a player that's available. Obviously, just look to your settings, see who's available from the Colorado Avalanche. But he's playing up on, I think, second line now. And not going to help you in fantasy playoffs, but I'm going to tell you the top secret stash of a lifetime. Gabriel Landeskog. There's going to be some leagues where he's probably on IR, LT. If you are in a keeper league or a dynasty league, he's probably maybe held by someone. But if he's not, grease a pickup, stash him. If he gets playing and he's hot in the playoffs, that's an unbelievable player to maybe keep next year. So worth it.
Especially on a line with the likes of Cale Makar, with the likes of Nate Dogg, man, they got something special in Colorado, and Landeskog coming back. It's going to just be kind of off to the races for them. Hey, but moving on to the third of the Fantasy 5, we got Jonathan Marchessault from Nashville. I don't think he's going to be available in some of the deeper leagues. However, Nashville obviously not quite what they had hoped for when they made the big 3 signing at free agency this year. So Jonathan Marchessault may be available in some of those shorter leagues. Definitely a great pickup this week. Nashville had 4 games as well, right? Or were they only 3?
They're 4 games. Yeah,
they're 4 games as well.
Everybody that's on this list is 4 games that we put on it. And then Marchessault is the guy who you would be familiar with Vegas, not there in Vegas anymore, but Carlson, William, he's back in Vegas in the lineup. He was injured out for a while. He's been back for about 2-3 games now. Been playing pretty good. Second line, I think he's even playing 2. Normally he's third line, but he's playing second line now because of that injury to Hurdle. Screwed me over completely in the fantasy playoffs. But until Hurdle's back, he's on the second line. I'd be running with him.
Due to then move into the final, the 5, looks like we got Perron, Cousins, and Pinto from Ottawa. Man, tell me how you like those guys. What's going on?
I've had a few of them on my roster. Like, they've been playing good. Like, I think I actually randomly mentioned earlier, Cousins has been really good since he went to Ottawa, and they're teams that are playing 4 games this week. They got a good roster. They're hot right now, and it's just a couple guys to look to. So I give you a few guys. Same thing. Just pull up Ottawa, see who's available. But those are some guys I'd be looking to out of that squad this week. What do you got there? You got a card? Speaking of cards, off, tell them about our MLB Rip. What do you got there?
Dude, I got a dope David Perron auto. What is this? 47 out of 99. Love to see it.
Nice. I love it. Well, let's get over to here. Oh, everything gets mixed up a bit. But yeah, I love the cards. And speaking of cards, over on Whatnot, we got the MLB break going. You can pop in there, grab a random spot. We'll be ripping that as soon as the show wraps up. But we've bantered for almost like an hour about nothing but hockey here. I think we might have to move on a little bit. Give people a little something else here.
Dude, let's hit it. What's next? Give it to me. Oh.
Well, I think we should, it looks like we went to Bushleague Vision here. We're just going to throw it back, I think. See if we give people a little bit of quality entertainment. We're going to throw it back to the NFL season. In a couple of weeks, we'll be doing the NFL mock draft here and then doing our Bushleague Dynasty draft, a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll take a quick 2 shakes to give you a little throwback to a live call this past fantasy season.
That's a
Bushleague question.
If you ain't watching film, you ain't trying to win.
Bushleague play of the week.
Mahomes is going to the Super Bowl and Goff is laying on his back.
Oh, he hit there, bud. He took one right to the old Nagaruski. He's down on the turf, bud.
Oh,
He'll be getting back up. He'll be into the sideline for a brewski. Yep, there it is.
I'll tell you what, Mahomes takes that hit, and the other guy is going to jail. It is happening. It's bad news.
Flopperooski. Look at him with his little flopperooski in his hand to dooski there.
Teddy Bridgewater in on the very next play, straight off a high school state championship.
There's Goff on the sideline. He's going to have to watch one of these old high school players from the sideline after getting a noggin checked out, the old concussion tap from Campbell.
It's a handoff and a pitch. He's got space on the left side. Down the sideline.
No wonder old Teddy Bridge and the boys won the state championship. They got all the plays dialed up there, bud.
Oh, he's heading for the end zone with the flip.
What a move, and he's going to do the old fuckaroo, the end zone. What the hell's going on in America? Jeez. Gee, I don't know. Those guys are wild. Whoever's announcing those things.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Not safe for work. That's for sure. Those guys are not safe for work.
That's a love it. I love it. Well, that was a good old time. Anybody who's tuned in throughout NFL season, we love doing our drafts, all kinds of stuff. So please stay tuned. About a month from now, we'll start ramping up a little bit of NFL, getting ready for the NFL draft, and then getting you dialed in for our rips over on Whatnot. We're going to be doing little best ball leagues, hop into best ball, rip some cards, and then win some packs at the end of the season. So hop over to Whatnot right now. Get used to the system. Hop in the break we got going right now. But before we move on into MLB and the deep dive into opening weekend, I just want to touch quick on the UFC. Next weekend, we got Josh Emmett, Lerone Murphy, almost like Tyrone. Lerone Murphy at UFC Fight Night, Emmett versus Murphy. Josh Emmett, Vayner Sports athlete, shouts to Vayner Sports. But they have a really cool one-punch card stream. We'll get into that in a second. But I'm looking forward to his fight. He's one of the hardest-hitting fighters in the UFC. A really nice dude. I got the opportunity to meet him at VCon. It was really awesome. Just a really, really genuine dude. But he fights this weekend. So make sure if you're not following Josh Emmett, go give him a follow. He'll be scrapping this weekend. It's going to be a good bout. Going to put a 1 beside that 15 perhaps for Lerone. That's what I'm hoping anyways.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight because Murphy's just came in firing, man, with the undefeated record here. Josh Emmett has always been one of my favorites, fan favorite, out of Team Alpha Male for the longest time. I don't know if he's still there, but just like you said, a great all-around dude. So this is going to be a fun card. I'm stoked for it as well.
For sure. And if you guys haven't check out their one-punch cards. It's a stream he does. Just like we do over on Whatnot right now. You can hop into our break. We're doing an MLB break. Josh and his crew, I think it's his brother and a friend, they do UFC breaks all the time, chasing Josh's own cards. I got a whole bunch of them myself, actually, from their breaks. But check them out. Do that. And next weekend, we're going to deep dive into how his fight went. There was supposed to be one of our athletes from Bam Bam's Fitness fighting this weekend, Nick the Fury Felber, but his opponent pulled out, and I just hate to see it. Nick's just such an animal. He's had quite a few opponents pull out last minute on, they're injured, this or that. I think just because they're scared of how mean he looks. But we won't get to recap that next weekend. But stoked to recap Emmett versus Murphy and check out all the other battles that are going on that weekend. It'll be a good one.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's going to be a good card.
Yep, for sure. And then this past weekend, Brandon Moreno, the round 5 decision. Manuel Torres to KO in round 1. Chiarez, round 1 submission. We've seen Raul Rosas with the whatever it is, the Chawiwis or whatever.
Yeah, Chawiwis. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I watched that fight, and Rosas definitely handled the first 2 rounds, but at the end he got caught and kind of rode it out in a submission attempt. So the kid's a star, that's for sure. I hope to see him continue to perform well and move up the UFC ranks. I don't think he's ranked yet, but I would assume he will be here within the next fight or so.
Yeah, for sure. And you love to see he's one of the youngest guys in the UFC for sure.
I think he came in at 17, didn't he? Didn't his parents have to sign a waiver for him to compete?
Series, I think, when he was 17 or whatever. So he's young. Yeah. But one thing I've been saying, and we won't spend too much time on it this show. We'll probably talk about it a lot next show. Actually, I'm going to make a note of it late rounds. But I honestly think there should be some weighted value to later rounds in fights. I don't care. People are always oh, he won the first 2 rounds. But I don't care. No matter what. No matter how a fight starts, I think what matters is how it ends. And you can, even if you get beat up quite a bit, I think if you're the one that's looking good when the fight's supposed to end, I think there's something to that. But I don't want to get too deep on that.
Can I make one comment?
Absolutely.
So if that is the case, they need to start each round how the round previous finishes. I'm up for that. I'm all for that. But we can't have every round stood up at the beginning of the second, stood up at the beginning of the third. If somebody's got back mount, if somebody's got side control, if somebody's got, is even in a guard, you know what I mean? If we're going to put more weight on the third round, each round needs to start how the previous round finished. That's my opinion.
I respect it. I would even say, what if we were to consider not even having the breaks and it's just a 15-minute fight or a 25-minute fight? Something to consider, but we won't get too deep in it. MLB, you want to get into it, or you're just pausing?
I think we have to. I think we have to, man. I think that's what we're here. That's what the folks want to see. We got the Whatnot break going on, happening real shortly over there. Hit the QR code below me down in the dance.
Did I send another Givey live?
I think you should. I think you should. Who do you got up next?
We'll see. That was Givey. That was a Jacob deGrom. I'm pretty sure. I don't know who won it, but shouts to them. Whoever did win it, you get free shipping over in the Whatnot stream. What else should we send live then? Another baseball card, maybe? We're going to do baseball rip?
I think we're doing baseball, man. Baseball rip here starting probably in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So let's dive in.
Chris Bryant, stars of the MLB. We'll send a Givey live over on Whatnot. Hop in there, get a free card. Let me send her live here.
Perfect. Do it, man. I like the Dodgers. That's an Accutar character right there.
Absolutely. And shouts to Mika Johnson, Accutars. That's one of the characters that they released in conjunction with the MLB for the World Series. They did Dodgers and Yankees official figurines with the Accu statue. So anybody who's been holding that NFT, it's really cool to see that come to life like it has over these last few years. And Mika just nonstop doing some cool work with that project.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's a dope little figurine, whatever you want to call it, action figure. I don't know, but it's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I love it. It's one of my favorite, and it's the same dude actually that's in the video beside that. I have a little animation set up that we do our Whatnot thing, and you'll be seeing me bring some of these characters to life. Yeah, probably a couple of years from now, and some animations we're working on and stuff like that. But getting into the MLB this weekend, speaking of that beautiful little figurine, timeout. We won't get into MLB.
Timeout. No, I want to give a timeout real quick. If you're watching right now on Instagram, get over to Whatnot, get over to YouTube, get over to X, get over to Facebook. The Instagram stream is going to end here in about 3 minutes. At that point, head up to that QR code right here. We'll be on Whatnot with a break. You'll see this show live on Whatnot, and then the break will start shortly after.
Fuck, that's why we pay the guy the big bucks. I didn't even know that it was going to end. He's giving the people the fair warnings. We don't pay him anything.
This is purely volunteer work for TKB and Bushleague Sports.
Love it. Well, MLB, what went on? Any crazy stories? Obviously, a few things. I know maybe if my buddy Juicy Pear, he bought 3 spots in the Whatnot break there. I know he's a Padres fan. They start 3-0 after a shutout game. Love to see it. Just always cool to see how everything starts. Obviously, you, like we talked about last week, had the opportunity to go down to spring training before it all kicked off. Cool to see it underway now. And yeah, Padres 3-0 start.
Absolutely, man. NL West is looking tough this year. I know the next topic we'll get into is the Dodgers. The Giants look good. NL West is going to be a tough division in baseball this season. I'm excited to see it.
Absolutely. Then we also have Dodgers, first team ever, which it's surprising to me. I would have thought that's a stat that would have happened a ton of times before. And thank you to John over and Whatnot for grabbing a spot in the break. But Dodgers starting 5-0. And speaking of Dodgers, that's who John probably wants. So grab 3 teams. We'll let you trade for them. But 5-0 start, amazing. But it's crazy to me that nobody's ever started 5-0 after winning a World Series. It doesn't seem like that big of a feat. 10-0 or something, I'd be like, okay, that's. But 5, I would have assumed it would have happened several times.
I completely agree. Like, I almost don't believe the stat, and I want to go look it up myself, because it seems like it would be something that would happen, almost a common occurrence, 30% of the time or something like that, not something that has never happened before. So crazy stat. Obviously the Dodgers are absolutely stacked, just paying out that what is it? The collective balance tax, just paying that money to everybody who'll take it so they can sign all the biggest and the best players in the MLB. If you missed last week's show, we talked all about the fact that there is no salary cap in baseball and that there should be one. We talked about why we think it should go that way and how to get there. But if you don't believe it, you're just going to have the Dodgers win every year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's just, I found it on Twitter. So who knows? Like, everybody thinks that's fake news now. So then maybe it's absolutely not true. And we're giving people fake news. Who's to say?
It's very, very possible. I mean, I do believe everything I read on the internet 60% of the time, every time.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're obviously tuned into Bushleague Sports, I would believe every single thing we say. Going on to the Blue Jays, obviously still trying to figure out if they're going to sign Vlad or I'm like debatable, even if he is like this big, massive superstar. Like, what's he ever won? A home run derby, right? So it's just debatable how much money they really should pay the guy. But in other news, aside from that, Scherzer hits the IL 15 days. And it's interesting to see Scherzer, just again, another legend, like we spoke of legends of the game earlier, with the Toronto Blue Jays. Kind of crazy. And he's just one of those guys that's like, he is unstoppable. He's just so good.
Yeah, and he's been pitching forever, man. He's been in the league a long time. He was in Texas last year. He's in Toronto this year. By the way, dude, I have a Toronto Blue Jay story from a couple weeks ago. I was in an airport bathroom, and Brandon Belt came into the bathroom, and I wasn't like peeking over the stall or anything to see what was going on over there, but met with Brandon Belt in the bathroom. Brandon Belt has been out of the year for a couple seasons, or out of the league for a couple seasons, but a legend. Won 2 World Series with the San Francisco Giants, and then went on and finished his career in Toronto. So it was a cool little airport meetup where I was like, oh damn, that's Brandon Belt. It was pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I just got to switch you. I keep on pressing the wrong button. I'm not used to this fancy upgrade they got where I can just press this one button and it does it all. And so I keep screwing it up on the background. So Bush League Sports. One day we'll hire an intern to run her on the back end.
No worries. Do you know what the Yankees don't need?
What don't they need, buddy? What don't they need?
Dude, they don't need any more hitters in their lineup because they got enough. Holy cow. 15 home runs in the first 3 games of the season. That is unheard of. Again, another thing that just a stat that doesn't seem real to have that many home runs in 3 games. It's wild.
And that one seems like it shouldn't be real, right? So it's a little more like realistic. But obviously, you started out with Judge getting a 3 home run game, the first player of the season to have a 3 home run game, and it's just they're dominant team, right? You see Judge last year lead in home runs. Obviously, Shohei got all the attention and got the attention with the steals and etc. But Judge out hit him. But the Yankees are off to a start, and I don't know if any controversies or anything. I know there's got a little video. Maybe we run it. We take a look. Maybe this is fake news. Maybe it's AI. Maybe this isn't even true.
Now you see the shape of Chisholm's bat.
Dude, it's got a big barrel on it.
Well, it's actually a little bit lower than the barrel. The Yankee front office, the analytics department, did a study on Anthony Volpe. And every single ball, it seemed like he hit on the label. He didn't hit any on the barrel. So they had bats made up where they moved a lot of the wood into the label, so the harder part of the bat is going to actually strike the ball.
That'd be a weird way to hit. Going up there expecting to get jammed and putting the meat of the bat towards the label.
It'd allow you to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, your weight.
I mean, so is that AI or is that real? Is that the bats they're using? Like, what's going on?
So yeah, I don't know. And so that's looking at that player individually, right? And the way he swings and like they said, he's getting jammed up a lot to where it would be, on the label, which is probably halfway up the bat. So they moved the weight of the bat to that section. They beefed up that section and now he's hitting the ball better. I don't know the legalities of that. This isn't like the old school corking the bats. I don't know what the deal is, but
well, that's kind of my question, right? Because I know like the cork in the bat was not allowed, and I would have thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there's like a standard issue bat from the league, and then obviously each player they like different this, they like that. But I would think that every single bat that a player wanted needs to be issued through the league. I would assume the team doesn't just get to do it for those reasons. So either and maybe someone in the chat let us know if you know the answer, but. Are they cheating? Does the league know and it's okay? Because I just thought that the way the bat was shaped was how it had to be shaped. Like because otherwise, obviously, people are going to do all kinds of different stuff like that, right?
Well, I would say 100% the league knows, and I would also say 100% it's allowed, just based on the fact that Yes Network is the Yankees broadcast, that they are bringing light to it, that it would have to be. You almost relate it to, I know we got a lot of hockey fans in here, like the curve of a stick. I don't know if you remember the old curve of a stick rules where, guys would try to get that extra curve to get the extra snap on their wrist shots and their snap shots where you could, I don't know if you remember, there was like a rule that if you could roll a quarter under the curve of your stick when your stick was laying flat, it was illegal. And again, I don't know if that was a rule in the NHL. I don't know if that was a rule in college. I don't know if that was a rule in high school hockey, but that's like the specific thing I remember. And I would relate this to that they're messing with the shape of the bat to give their player more of an advantage when he batted, similar to if you put a little extra bend on your stick so you could roof it in gym class.
You ever do with your mini sticks or anything? Put her over the boiling water, heat her up, get the nice curve on her.
No, I haven't, but I do remember gym class or PE as a kid, like when it was floor hockey day, you'd go grab the stick out of the bucket and you give it a nice wrench on it so you could really school the school kids.
Nice. I love it. And over on Whatnot, our buddy John's saying it was approved by the MLB Players Association, the bats, and Yankees hired a bunch of people to review how players swing. And now a bunch of players on the Yankees are using these different bats. And so it's interesting to see, because you would have thought people would have done that same thing, like the 5-win thing a long time ago. How would you have not studied where you hit the ball the most and then just shape the bat to be the most powerful in that spot? It seems like something I thought I would have thought they would have done a long time ago.
And with the MLB Players Association having ownership of that and being able to make that decision, obviously it's better for baseball, I would say, right? We talked about what's good and bad for baseball last week. I would say that it is better for baseball to see more hits like that, right? To see people putting lumber on the ball. So, I'm for it if it's going to push baseball to the next level.
I love it. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see where it goes. If they keep hitting a zillion home runs and they break all the records and it all goes crazy, it'll be interesting to see how people call it, whether it's legitimate or not. But we're probably going to see all kinds of other teams adopt it fairly soon into the season. And it'll all of a sudden be one of those things where it's like we set that home run record for the year probably of MLB. And then just like the balls they tried out a few years ago, they'll be changing the rule again.
Yeah, and that's just how sports evolve, right? That's how the goalie pads got better, they got bigger. Goalies changed the way they play the game. It's just the evolution of sports, and we're seeing it live right now with baseball.
They figured out how to reshape the bats before they figured out how to literally just use the fucking umpire calls on the television that show what's a strike and what's not. Like, how is that? Like, what's going on?
Tyler Ferguson in the X chat, such a Yankee thing to do. I love that comment. That is absolutely a Yankee thing to do.
Well, what else did he say? All the rules said there was a maximum diameter, but they didn't say anything. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. That's good to know. I just crazy to see that that's the case. And 15 homers in 3 games is nuts. Obviously, you got to hit the ball for that to happen. It doesn't just happen magically, right? But nonetheless, it's still just interesting to see. They get a new bat shape and all of a sudden they're breaking all the records.
Yeah, no, good. Again, Yankees are ahead of the game here. Other teams will pick it up this year. It's going to happen, right? You got Billy Bean, running all the stats is it Billy Bean? What am I talking about? Running all the in Oakland. They were the big stats team. They had that whole movie on it. Moneyball. That was a Moneyball.
I don't know.
Moneyline. I don't know, man. Baseball. I'm all over the place. I need to lock it in. We're going to lock it in throughout the course of this season.
Love it. Well, speaking of locking it in too, we're going to lock it in over on Whatnot here in a bit. Thank you guys to everybody who has tuned in to episode 55 Bush League Sports. A little ML. I tried to say MLB and NHL at the same time, but a little MLB banter as we go into this break for the MLB opening weekend here. And then we also have a little NHL where we chatted. It's the last week of fantasy playoffs. Congratulations to Cause, to I think Bean, unless something's changed since we've been on the show, and everybody else who's heading to finals in fantasy hockey. Hope you guys get a win, because I don't. Next year, coming for y'all. But, tune into the show. I think we gave a lot of good advice this year. A lot of players we advised did good. So, tune back in next year. We proved by my performance getting to the semifinals that we know what we're talking about. And, we'll keep it going into next year, Trev.
I'll tell you what, I've been kind of sad the last couple of weeks because my team was not in the fantasy playoffs. I've been sad, like going to the Yahoo app and just like kind of clicking on it and then not being able to see much and then going to check your guys' scores. It's been a sad few weeks for me, but again, a great season. Fantasy hockey is an excellent sport, man. And I'm just grateful you guys brought me into your league.
Nice. I love it. Well, I'm going to play a little outro or a little clip, sorry, from Bam Bam's Fitness and get over to Whatnot. I'll be back in about a minute. I got to run for a sec, so I'm going to play it.
Yeah,
are you running? Are you sticking around? What are you doing?
Yeah, I won't. I'll be in the chat on Whatnot. I will not be on the video on Whatnot. But dude, again, an awesome show today. I know next week I'm stoked to get in on some UFC. I don't know. I know we got some big UFC fans in the Whatnot community who'll be looking for some UFC breaks next week. So that's going to be a fun one as well. But everybody stick around, hop over to Whatnot and jump in on this baseball break, man. 7 boxes, right?
Yep, $7. We'll be ripping in a few. So we'll catch you there. Stay bushy, you beauties. I'll chat with you guys in a minute. I'm going to run a quick little promo. We'll see you in a second.
Coming at you live from Bam Bam's Fitness.
All right, guys, Joel Mills here with the Bam Bam Boxing Academy. We got 14 workouts in our Bam Bam Boxing Academy. Now, these 14 workouts are specifically made to take you from simple mechanics all the way to a full fighter by the end of the 14 workouts. Workout 7, workout 14, we have some crazy conditioning rounds, some championship rounds. Those could be sprinkled in throughout these workouts, but the more you work through this program, workout 1 through 14, the more you're going to become refined as a fighter, as a fitness enthusiast, as someone just looking to get in the best mental and physical shape they can, guys. I'm also online 2 days a week with our MetaBands program and 3 days a week with our Crossbody Fitness program. So we're here to fulfill all of your physical and mental needs when it comes to exercise, guys. And reach out to me directly, touch base on anything from recovery to the workouts, to what weights you're using, to nutrition, to supplementation. Anything you want, guys, I'm here for you. I want to see you guys take this course and become the best version of you can, and I know you will. In this class and in this course, guys, I go through all the things that got me from amateur boxer to national champion to eventually going into the professional ranks and getting to hang out and do training camps with the guys like Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach, Justin Fortune, and all of these guys at the top of the boxing world that I was able to learn so much from. I'm so grateful. But more than anything, guys, I'm grateful for you being on here, and I'm grateful for you taking the steps to create the best version of yourself with BamBamsFitness.com.
Bam Bam. Bam Bam.
Oh, and now with that said, I don't know if they could hear me on the show. So thank you. If you guys are tuned in, I might have my mic cut off there for a tiny little bit in the old stream. But we are going live on Whatnot. We're going to be ripping some boxes here in a bit. You can hit that code or QR code that's down playing at the bottom, or the one that's sitting up top there over on the tent. That'll get you into Whatnot. We'll be live ripping some cards here in a few. I'm just going to throw on the camera for boom. So now we go to the extreme phone and cup technology. Patented. Tony Hawk, Jason Ellis. And let's see. Boom. Oh, no, not enough. All right, now we're absolutely buzzing. If you're over in the stream, we're going to have another giveaway live. We got a buyer's giveaway set up as well, too. And thank you to everybody who's over on YouTube, Facebook, X. We are live now on Whatnot. Going to rip some cards in a bit. Chris Bryant giveaway. Nobody hit it up, so I think we'll run the giveaway again. Thanks to everybody who's in here. Phone and Club Classic. Let's go Royals. Mike is on. Fuck, John. You got to live through something wild. You got to live through a learning experience for us here at Bushleague Sports. Sleep, you missed it. But I had to cut it, okay, buddy? So I had to cut it. I had to run because I was going to shit my pants. The coffee went right through me. Just, if you guys are watching Bushleague Sports, you see me shaking around at the end. Literally going to turn my pants. So then we throw on the promo. Pretty sure my audio is still on Whatnot. So hopefully, cut the feed. Hopefully nobody gets that. That'll be, they post videos of like, oh, Whatnot, they're scamming people. Well, mine will just be me shitting. That's amazing. Stand the man rules. Boys, thank you guys. DW, thanks for popping in. I think what we're going to roll, though, so let's roll this givey. Card number 3, pop it in. We're going to run a Chris Bryant Giants card givey. I'm going to move this over here. We're going to move this. We're going to move a few things around. Shouts to Mika and the Acu Dodgers statue. Ortiz we pulled a while ago. Patch card. There's the giveaway. It's live right now. Mint ink. And I'm going to pull this down off OBS. Because we ain't waiting no more. We are live. Let's play some tunes. See how she goes. John, Rehu. Well, hold on, John, because I think I got to switch it up. I was hoping that everything would sell out. So the 3 was grab 3 and I'll let you get any team you want. But I think what we're going to do is switch that up a hair. So my hope was that we'd sell spots and they'd all be sold out by the time the show went live. But it did not happen. So today's game plan, it was a noble plan, but it did not work. So it's just Hot Dog, you, and Rehu. So what I would like to maybe do, if you guys are down, is we'll just call a little audible, break some other stuff, and then I don't got to sit here all night. So I would like to break this stuff, but find like a fair value based off of what's sold and what. So give you guys some extra teams or whatever. Obviously, I know you'd want the Padres. I know I know you'd want the Dodgers. I know Hot Dog would want the Padres. Rehu, Colorado Rockies probably. Not sure if he's in here or not. But we'll get some cards ripping here in a minute. So we hit a quarter of the way. What would be the teams you would want, Rehu? What team would you want, Rehu, if you had to pick one? 2024. Let me see. John would be Dodgers. Rehu, Cincy. Hot Dog, Padres. Ooh, nice. Thanks for sniping one, Sleepy. Let me check something out here.
I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach and they don't have reppin'. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions.
Okay, Sleepy, sleep. Snag one. Well, just trying to figure out what we should do that is a fair thing. Does anybody? So what I did last time is I just like cut the amount that I ripped down and then gave everybody extra, but I don't know. Oh, it looks like we lost our feed on whatnot. Did we lose our feed? Oh no, I think we're okay. I thought we lost our feed. What I did last time, so I don't know if anybody would want extra teams. I would like double up everybody's teams or even triple them up, and then we'll just rip a little less. I'll let you guys pick which boxes we want to rip. That is one option that it would be sweet if you guys are down, because it's just for the homies. So that would be legendary. But yeah, so if you guys just want to like double or triple up your spots, I'm down with that. And then I'll do a little less if that's cool with you guys. And if anybody else wants to hop in that's live on Facebook or YouTube or X, hop in. We're going to rip some cards here. Maybe we won't have to rip us, but we're only about a third of the way sold out. So if you guys are down with that, that'd be legendary. Sleep, Pitts, and John would be Dodgers, and I don't know who, but probably someone sweet. Rehu, Cincy so far. Hot Dog about 3. He'd be Padres. So it depends what John's down with, and I know Hot Dog's down with whatever. Sleep, if you're down with that. Basically, I just let you pick 3 teams for the price of 1, and then I'll just rip a third of the boxes. That would be legendary, and I'll just shut the rest of it down. We'll get some cards ripping, and then I'll let you guys pick from a couple different options of what we would rip. But in essence, we would be yeah, we could either probably rip a mega and a blaster, or we could rip 3 of any of the blaster sets. That's an option as well. Yeah, probably 3 or blaster in 1. That's the option. Okay, so if you were Dodgers, Orioles, Cubs, okay, so far nothing that nobody else wants. Sleep, Pittsburgh, San Fran. Rehu, what teams would you want? you would get like 9. You would just get everybody. Or also, if you don't want like a zillion teams, I'll gladly give you like a code too for the next show that you can redeem for some shit too. That's an option as well. So it's whatever you want, Rehu. But you can have 9 teams, or you can have any number less, and then I'll give you some value in a future show. I got the technology. I can pull that off. TD Hoff, thanks for popping in. I'm just gonna check on something here, boys. Little drunk Irish tune. Okay, so Blue Jays, Cincy. Yankees. Okay, and then you can pick like 6 more teams if you want, Rehu, or I can give you something else in a future. Up to you. I need to give Hot Dog a bunch of teams, so I'll do that too. I'll pick him a few. That'll make life easy here. So give me 2 shakes. Future considerations, we could do that. Let me move this over for a second. Okay, well then what we'll do, if you're tuned in still on YouTube, Facebook, we're going to rip some cards here. Thanks to the boys for making it happen for me. Appreciate it. We're going to manage the spots here. We'll get a little more dialed in. We had quite a few viewers on YouTube and X this week, so thank you guys all for tuning in. Whatnot, still getting used to it, still locking her in, but it's been going good thanks to some of the homies that have been popping in, so thank you guys. Thank you, boy. Rotnick, thank you guys for popping in. We're going to get ripping here. I'm going to go start breaking. So then I have to run his auction. So if anybody wants a spot, I'll run them for fun. I don't know how to scroll over on that. There, we'll run an auction at the bottom. Okay, so then I got an idea. I got an audible for us. So we want the Series 2 Mega. Is that what we want? That one in the mix. I'm sure John would agree. He probably wants the Mega in the mix. With that, we can lock that in. And a Series 1 or a Series 2 blaster? Series 2, you want both Series 2? So both would be Series 2. Would be Series 2, Series 2. Also, check this out. Saturday morning cards. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, make sure you do. Some sweet, sweet collectibles. These ones are Smokey the Bear. The cards are really, really cool. Only You Can Prevent Wildfire. These ones, they come already in a hard case for you. This one isn't a numbered one, but it's still a very, Very sweet card. I'm stoked on these. We're going to have access to some of these in our store here in the near future. It's going to be sweet. But make sure you check out Saturday morning cards. And if you guys are interested in any, I have one personal that I would sell, but that's about it. In the future, we'll have some here probably. Honestly, probably in a couple of weeks, we'll have some. So do you guys just want to do Series 2 then? No Series 1? Is that what you're saying right here? That's what you want? So just Series 2s, no Series 1. This is what we're ripping right there. I'm staring while I'm smoking the bomb. Can't make my mind up from choosing because I want it all. Some of them want to play, me and mine want to ball. I had a vision that my MetaMask had 7 zeros. Some of them want the cash, I rather had a crypto. I got my hippies with me, pockets fatter than a hippo. Big money on the scale, we don't count it no more. Now everywhere I go, I got a deal to close. You better cuff your hoe or she'll be signing down with death row. All right. If that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. Ray, who says sure, 2. Okay. Last call. There's 40 here. You got Series 2 or Series 1 blaster. Put her in chats. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. One. Okay. We got 1 for 1. We got a Rehu 2. We got a Sleep 1. The deciding vote will be John. You want Series 1 or Series 2 for the blaster? Mix it up with the. You got a Series 2. Mix it up. Get a Series 1 or 2 the same. Oh, flip a coin. Flip a coin. Okay. I don't have a coin. That'll be a problem. Don't have a coin. Running on crypto and dreams, baby. So you got to flip a coin and decide. I'll decide. Series 1. We got a little Series 1 in there. You guys. Oh, 2. No. Okay, never mind. He decided. Done. Series 2. It's all Series 2. Let's get her dipping, boys and girls. Let's go. All right, well, Wahoo lives. Is that what it is? Lives. Thanks for popping in. Boys, thank you. I appreciate it. We're either going to have to start selling more or we're going to have to give up. One or the other. But thank you guys for supporting. Hopefully we'll keep pulling heat. At least we've been pulling heat because you boys have been supporting for the last few weeks and we've at least been pulling some good cards. So it's been awesome. Thank you. We're gonna get it. We're gonna need a new marketing strategy though around here. Okay, so Mega, boom. PD Hop, Jordan, let's go, baby. Everybody pop in. We just ran a few gibbies. Here's our blaster pack. And here's our Mega. This one's going to have some money pulled in it. All right, so those are the Mega. These are there. Did we give you number? Any hockey box? Yeah, I got some, Jordan. If you're interested, I would rip you a hockey box quick before we dive in. But if you want a whole blaster, I can definitely pull that off. I got some 2024-25 artifacts. I got all kinds of different stuff. A lot of Series 1. I got full tins. I got whatever you want. If you want to rip a quick hockey, We can fire a hockey off quick. We got a lure. Let's see, we got a few here. I'll grab a couple, show you a few. We got Metal Universe, O-Pee-Chee. We got lots of different stuff. We got MVP. We got some O-Pee-Chee Platties. Upper Deck Allure. That's a Bedard Chase. These are sweet. Star Rookie 2024-25. Base set with a parallel. This one set to Bushleague Breaks by Mint Inc. Some 2021 Credentials Hobby Box. That one's expensive, but we got a few different ones. So I got tins. I got full tins. 2024-25 Series 1 tins. All kinds of goodies. I'll rip them for basically retail. Done deal. But as we usually set up some hockey breaks sometimes, but I would, yeah. The MVP. I think we're still in USD. Give me 2 shakes. I think we're still, yeah. Mint Inc. has the capability to run CAD, but not us. We're too broke. But USD on the MVP would be 45 for the whole box. This would be like $7 a pack or whatever it is. And each these ones are actually, or no, these ones are 6 cards, so there's 15 packs in these ones. So that's like dirt cheap. It's like $3 a pack. Otherwise, we're gonna rip some tops. We're gonna have to rip this one in the future too. No worries. Thanks for popping in and checking it out. I appreciate it. Well, boys, let's get ripping. We start with the blaster. Let's get it. Good luck. Appreciate you, fellas, and everybody who's still sitting in here from the show. Appreciate you guys coming by, popping in, doing some rips. If you hung out on whatnot, that made me take a shit. That's why we're Bushleague Sports. Stars of the MLB, Sonny Gray. Does it start with the hits at the front of the packs, or what do we got? Looks nice. I'm going to put a sleeve on it. Just looks nice. I think we got the hit right at the front. We'll find out, though. Ryan Reynolds. Oh, that's the back. Okay, well, then I screwed up. Ryan Noda, Zaroka, Diaz, Perkins, Gray, Williamson, McKenzie, Ryan Reynolds. Okay, well, now we know. That's how those ones look from the backside. Also, if anybody wants some B-Friends cards or anything else, let me know. I'll throw a card on screen, too. I'll auction some cards off as we go if anybody's interested. I got a bunch of these I'm going to auction off. Garbage Pail Kids. If anybody's interested in a Garbage Pail Kid card, started off at $3. I was running at the bottom. Card and screen right there. Hop over in the stream. Okay, so these ones just give us all the cards, like when you open the pack. Kind of a lame way to pack them. Spencer Strider, unless, of course, the other card is like the better one. I don't know. We'll go like this. What do they do? They got these all over. They don't know what they're doing. Taj Bradley, Future Stars, Mize, Stripling, Walker, Hendricks, Nagana, Kettle Marte, Ozuna, Duran, Herrera, St. Louis Cardinals, Spencer Strider, Stars of the MLB, and AL. Whoa, no way. New York Yankee, All-Star OF, Mickey Mantle. Look at that. We got that going over to Rehu, I think. A nice little old school AL leaders, 56. You'll have to see it. Mickey Mantle, you don't see them kicking around. Still sweet. I know it's not the Mickey Mantle card, but it's still cool. You don't get them too often. Nothing's valuable, John. Everything's Bush League. Put a sleeve on them just for fun. We put the sleeves on just so that people think we care. No, I'm kidding. We care. But all these packs got our players there. Camino, Abreu, Ty France, Win, Florio, Vargas. Are we in screen? Yeah. Alcantraz, Henny, Teja, Alvarez, Jason Dominguez, and the Topps Chrome. And a Trey Turner. But that's sweet. We got Topps Chrome, Jason Dominguez in the mix. There you go. There's the Chrome variants, like you said. Right as you said it, unless you get the Chrome variants. Boom. We get it. John knows. John's our resident baseball pro around here at Bush League. Keeps us dialed. We're going to pull everybody some heat tonight. That Mega's where you go. Top loaded, he says. We'll top load it in a sec here. Let's go. Shohei Ohtani stars at the MLB. Not a... Darian Lynch, Royals, Smith, Outman, Pattis, Lopez, Whitlock, Kepler, Sandoval, Waters, Allen, Baltimore Brotherhood, JP Realmuto, and there's that Shohei Ohtani. We pulled the Shohei patch last show. That was sweet. Ended up in the hand of John. That was a beauty. Put that bad boy in a sleeve. There you go. She's hard sleeve, John. Okay, let's see. Can I pull the cards out so that we can't see that back card? Without wrecking them? I don't know. Ozzy Albies, Garcia, Young, Cison, Turner, Redbeard, Vayner Sports Athlete, love to see it. New York Mets, Phillies, Padres, Matthew Batten, Weston Wilson, SFO, San Francisco Giants. I almost said Jan Francisco Friends. Nationals, Riley Adams, and a Zach Geloff. Starts at the MLB. Rookie card, though. Marco Luciano. Love to see it. Little Snoop in the background. For the boys. No, it wasn't a Chrome variant, buddy. It was just a normal one. I would have been stoked if it was the Chrome variant. I would have freaked out a little more. But it was just the normal version. But we're rounding last two packs of the blaster. Man, the last one I pulled out the other way and it was different. Drew Rom, Ryan McKenna, Vasquez, Call, Kalanick, Birdie, Gibson, Abreu, Stevenson, Kurlig, Alvarado, David Wright from the Mets, and Luis Arias. The hits are going to come in the mega. They're going to come in the mega. Joey Votto. There's a Colorado Rockies. Xavier Assad. Rodon, Pedersen, Bichette, Ornelas, McCarthy, Pash, Lofton. Home run challenge. Okay, Marlins home run challenge. I've never got one of these, I think, within like the time to be able to compete for it. Joey Votto. So what's the dates on this? Register and choose the game date you think this player will hit a home run. If he does, you win a parallel card. Feeling brave. Go double or nothing and predict the ball will travel more than 425 feet for a special parallel card. Grand Prize drawing 2025 home run derby. Cool. So can enter that. I'm gonna have to enter that. Joey Votto, Cincinnati Reds. Sleeve that for my man. All right, we're into the mega. Fredo, thanks for popping in. Card on screen. Garbage Pail Kids. Some collector cards. Piece of the puzzle on the backside. $3. Help the boys reach 1,000 sales. Luis Urias, Meckler, Reyes, Cobb, McGuire, Steer, Call. Rockies again. Mets. Kalenic, Birdie. What the hell are you doing the splits? Greg Kimbrell. Look at you doing the splits, boys. Julio Rodriguez and Trey Turner. Stars of the MLB. What are we supposed to pull? Exclusive baseball foil board cards. Topps Mega Stars inserts in the Mega. We got another Shohei. I didn't see if it was Chrome variant. McNeil, Greinke, Rangers, Kimbrel, Herschel, Richardson, Phillips, Assad, Rodon, Peterson, Bichette, Orleanos. That's the fastest anyone's ever said that. Bobby Witt Jr. and Shohei Tane, not a Chrome. But we got a couple of these in the bag. Edward Julian, Garcias, Guardians, Grissom, Sims, McCando, Rutledge, Benson, Castellanos, McCarthy, Sanchez. Stars of the MLB, Bo Bichette, Chrome variant. Let's go, Bo Bichette. For the Jays. You'll love to see it. Boom. Chrome variant, Bo Bichette. National League, Paul Goldschmidt, and the Stars of the Game, G-Hoff. Nice, that's a nice one. It's a little insert, but is this one of the Topps baseball foil board 89? No. Hopefully not. I want a cooler card. Auctions live. Auctions live in the chat. Garbage Pail Kids card. That's I'll get sore talking this song. Terrain, Kirk, Wall, Riley, Siri, Dodgers, Miller, Fry, Pego, Semyon, Adam, Bobby Witt, Kansas City Royals, MCI, whatever the hell that means. Probably a surgery he needs on his elbow. Young Ho Lee, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Rookie card, Young Ho Lee. Couple legendary Asians. Oh my god, I dropped the card. John's going to sacrifice me. Couple beauties. Ripping some 2024 blasters. Walker, Lindrum, and a home run challenge. Bobby Witt Jr. We got another one. Kansas City Royals. Yankees, Jason Dominguez and Junior Caminero. The boy, thanks for popping in. 50 seconds left in the auction for the card. Garbage Pail Kids card. I'll switch the card out in a minute. Cardinals, Masson win. Christian Yelich covering the field. And a Matt Olson. Nice. If you're here on YouTube, Facebook, wondering what the hell we're doing, we're over on Whatnot ripping cards. We got a card live right now. Garbage Pail Kids card. Maybe we'll send another one live here in a second. What do you guys want? Do you guys want me to put a baseball card on the screen? Football cards? Hockey cards? What do you guys want? We'll do 2 $3 cards. Rockies, Taglia, Proshaki, Gray, Stubbs, Bouchard, Stroman, Albez, Garcia, Young, Vargas, Whitlock, Sonny Gray, and Aaron Judge. Nice. Baseball. Let's go Royals. Okay. What do we want? Giants, Blue Jays. Let's do Mookie Betts, Dodgers. Stars of the game card. We'll run that. Dodgers card. Starter at $1. Little Mookie Betts, stars of the game. Quick dollar card. Maybe we can run a David Ortiz after. What do you guys think about that? Or Molina? Spencer Strider. Cesani, McKenna, Vasquez, Kepler, Justin Turner. Ooh, what's this? Shohei Ohtani. Nice, Dodgers. Strider, stars of the MLB. You guys want to do an Ortiz patch card? By the way, nobody's buying anything. I'm sure I'll get soaked for it, though, if I do it. You like that one, hey? That's sick. Toronto, Story, Larch, best of the best. Alvarez, Williams, Walker, Wells, Rosario, Cropley, Acadu. Oh, stars of the game. Randy L. Radza. Andy Ardzarena, tops Chrome. Pete Alonso there. And a Noel Marte. That'll probably go into the giveaway, Paul. Champs Collection, thanks for popping in. All right, I don't really want to get rid of it because I like it, but David Ortiz, commemorative patch card. I don't really want to sell it. Yeah, absolutely, I can, sir. I don't like that. It's not going in that phone. I'm just going to get a different one. Make sure this thing don't get hurt. There we go. Easy in. If the plastic don't go in, don't let the cardboard touch her because it's just going to get hurt. Yeah, it is a sick one. Numbered? No, I wish it was numbered. I'd have been, again, probably losing it. But We're getting some polls, just not numbered. Maintain card on stand, $20. I don't want to sell it, but I'll put it up just for fun while we're ripping. David Ortiz patch card, top 70th anniversary. Card on screen on the minting stand. One time only. That's my favorite little card I got. Robles, Kansas, Mullins, Blake, Ozuna, Fetty, Noda, Bradley, Henniger, Tavares, Jeff Bagwell, Houston Astros around the horn, and a Gunnar Henderson. I don't know what this is. It looks different. Houston Astros. Import Sports, thanks for popping in. Jose Altuve we got at the back here. Hosea Gray. 30 seconds left if you want a patch card. Trey Turner, Clayton Kershaw, All-Stars, and a Jose Altuve. Five left. Mason Wynn, Andrew Heaney, Tenna, Sandoval, Waters, Batten, Wilson, Camilo, Abreu, France, Young, Soroka, Aaron Judge, nice, and a Mason Wynn. Ooh, that one's got damage in the corner. That's why it doesn't want to go in. I see. There we go. Put that over there. CTM9, thanks for popping in. If you guys are on YouTube, X, Rover, on whatnot, ripping cards, pop in on the break. We've got all kinds of random stuff you can get in on if you want. Bolin, Phillips, Boyle, Bush, Pena, Medina, Gonzalez, Dawson Swanby of the Cubs, 280 to 299, our first numbered one. Cubs going over to, is it John? The Cubs? Nice. Danby Swanson, numbered, 280, 299. Let's go. Love it. We got the new Bushleague sports stands too. Hopefully you guys like them. Buyer's giveaway. Should run that in a second. Francisco Lindor, Matt LeCay. You know what? Let's run it right now. Buyer's giveaway. Boys are chilling. Been hanging out the whole time. $5 minutes. Giveaway. Enter if you bought a spot. Hop in. You get this pack. Topps Chrome 2024. If you're on YouTube, X, hop in now. You still got 5 minutes before it expires. You can grab a $3 card and get in on the same giveaway as these boys spent their life savings on. So how's that for unfair? Jose Abreu. Huh. Oh, and you know why, Rehu? I think it's because you bought before the so I made the giveaway and it says from the point you bought this, and I don't know if you bought before that or not, but here, I'll run a card for you for $1. What card do you want? What team? What do you want? Let me see something here. Oh no, I don't got no Colorado cards on hand. Here, we'll run one for the kids, Rehu. Where is it? Where's the one I want? I had some more cards somewhere. I don't know where I put them. There was a V-Friends card. I don't know where it is. But here, just for you, Swaggy C line. I run that one for you. $3, Swaggy C line. Half price. Just for you right here. I'll ship it out to the kid. That should get you in on it. Who else has entered? Giveaways, 2 entries. So that should get you in on it after. I apologize. I'll refund you one day. I owe you my life savings at this point. Okay, let's pull these. Harrison at the back. But the giveaway is live. Ellie De La Cruz. There's the one he likes. Cincinnati Reds rookie card. Got a collection then, bugger. We have V-Friends cards the way to go, my friend. They're beauties. So there's something to get the kids into collecting that, like, would be just like if we were collecting Pokemon in 99. I honestly think it's V-Friends. I think that's something to be collecting, trying to get your kids to, like, stash those, because 20 years down the road, I think that's a ticket. I really, really do. I think there's going to be a lot of value to be had. We're at the start of like a Pokemon or like a Disney. I truly, truly believe with the money that they have behind that brand. Right here with the win. It ends in 7 seconds. That should get you eligible, hopefully, before the giveaway ends. But that's going to you, Rehu. Boom. Rehu wins. Lock it in. Now you should be able to enter, I hope. If it doesn't go, I just robbed you of $3. Two packs left. We got a couple hits, though, in there. Sonny Gray, Butler, Fairchild, Hoskins, Spears, Pira, Fitzgerald, Quintero, Albias, Reynolds, Edward Julian, Sandy Koufax. Nice. Los Angeles Dodgers, Sandy Koufax. And then Alex Bregman. That's a nice one. That's another. There's a couple of these that have just screwed up. I don't know why. Okay, last pack magic, folks. Buyer's Givey runs in 3 seconds. 2, 1. Who wins it? Who wins it? John, let's go. Let me know if you want me to rip it. 2023 Topps Chrome. Attaboy. That'll pay your shipping. Last pack. Sal Frank, Hap, Wendell, Brantley, Baez. Prior teammates reunite. Motivator, Minnesota. Brubacher, Little, Friedel, Vodnik, Charlie Blackman, Luis Castellano and the Mariners, and a Nolan Arenado. Nothing too wild, boys and girls. Nothing too wild. Rip it? Okay, let's go. Let's do it. But let's check out a couple of these polls. So there's obviously all kinds of random cards that I'll go through. There's a couple like mid-tier, like obviously maybe your dollar cards that hit for almost every team. But our main hits are the Chrome pulls we got out of that deal. Boba Shett. And I think we should maybe do a Bowman Chrome here soon. Jason Dominguez, Topps Chrome. Refractors that are some cool players. Sandy Koufax, Clayton Kershaw, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Paul Goldsmith. Randy Ardzanrena. Aaron Judge, another one. Danby Swanson, 280 of 90, 299. And Ellie De La Cruz rookie card, not numbered. But those are the main pulls. Not the worst for a $20 spot. Again, sorry we didn't fill it, boys, but thank you for calling the audible, ripping a couple less. John, do you like... Here, let me see here. One sec. I can find you some Montreal cards, but I was looking for some cards that I was going to give to the boys, but I can't find them. But if you guys want a Garbage Pail Kids cards, I'll throw it in. Sleep, thanks for popping in. Anybody want a Garbage Pail? I'll hook you up with one. I'll throw it in. Jackpot. Armored Almond. I'll throw you guys in any one of these you want. These, I love these cards. Thank you, Sleep, for popping by. Thanks for hanging out, carrying the show the whole time. Appreciate it. Well, if you're still here on YouTube, I'm going to play our way out of here. 1 second. If you're still over here on YouTube, X, thank you guys for sticking around. I am going to pop this open. Boom. Canon Digital. Thank you guys for rolling in. Thank you guys for tuning in for the whole show, which had a little MLB opening weekend. NHL Fantasy obviously got everybody dialed in. That's how they got this far. Let's tune into the show. Next week, we're going to recap UFC Fight Night. Emmett versus Murphy. That's going to be a good one. We're going to rip UFC next weekend and those breaks that we don't fill. This is going to be a fun one. So come by, check that out. Everybody else on Whatnot, I'm going to stick with you. I'm just going to play an outro to this show here. And we'll catch you guys next week. Episode 55. It's been a good one. A couple of sweet pulls. Nothing too wild. But at least we didn't get blanked. But it's going to be a good one. We'll catch you guys next week. Let's see what happens when I click the buttons here, if it works or not. We'll find out in a second. Is that outro video? Sure. What are we going to play? Stay Bushleague, you beauties. Episode 56 next week.
From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. Tell them never question, dog, I'm sitting goat status. Eating chicken with my jeans, smoking on some cabbage. Just a pedal on this
moment where you skate down the street and some shit for brains yells out of the window, "Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip!"
And house shoes, they know how the dog do. Skinny, heavy pockets, the West OG. Came across the globe, say they don't know me. Been applying pressure from 8 to 24 like Kobe. Mr. Hall of Fame used to bend the corners with strollies. Had to lay the blueprint, they rolled out the carpet. Anything I wanna own, I got my own.
Together like a little fitness promo when you talked about bass songs.
Still ain't sold my guns and I still ain't had to use them though.
Well, of course, good to meet you, man. I know there's a man behind that mask. That's the dude, man. I appreciate you. You guys are sick, man. I appreciate I collected all your shit, man. I love you. Don't do it for us.
All right, guys, Joel Mills here with the Bam Bam Boxing Academy. Now, these 14 workouts are specifically made to take you from simple mechanics all the way to a full fighter by the end of the 14 workouts.
So they don't ask questions.
This is some straight. Hey.
This is oh gosh.
I got thin to smoke it.
Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. I can't name a thing that I didn't have step. From the streets to movie screens, been getting bags and checks. If it's solid, you won't hear me with no bad rep. Legendary crippin' made it happen, and that's on the set. Still rolling on gold things, I'm a boss.
Go get it. What the fuck you waiting on, man? Let's go.
Blaming on my mom from all the crippin' I see. Blaming on my grip, all the hustling.
Yes, sir.
Can you smoke one through that mask, big dog?
He got his own club. It's lit too. And they was curious. Dr. Bombay, can you sign this one too? I just showed Dr. Bombay how to write. He been in the jungle. Nigga can write. He can't talk, but motherfucking write. I showed him something. Look at it. Go ahead. Find your spot, Bombay. Remember how I told you? Yeah, there you go, right there. Yeah, remember that? D R B. Spell it out. Sound it out. Bay. CEO.
That's the one now. That's some good weed. Is that your weed? Is that just Big Dog weed?
That's some shit that we got when we was out here.
Oh, that's our shit. Okay, I like it.
Well, that's Canada's finest, baby. They bring me the best from the CA.
I fucking don't expect any less.
I love it. Once again, scratch that off your bucket list. Come hang out with your favorite dog. How much is that dog in the window? Ask somebody.